everyone, and welcome back to Two Women That Know How to Talk.
Dude, that was the funniest thing. We were talking. I forget when we were talking or whatever, but you were just like, you're like, what's our podcast about? And you're like, two women that know how to talk. And like, that was it.
That's all there is to it.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to AA episode 2. Last week, it was the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So, and we said we were like, oh, we'll do this weekly, bi-weekly. Doesn't really matter.
Whatever feels right.
Whatever
but
floats our boat.
I was in Georgia, so we held out.
Tell us about it. Where'd you go? What'd you do?
Okay.
The people want to know.
The people want to know. So, my family and I went to Lake Lanier.
The deadliest.
It's literally like haunted, and I found out that the lake was built on like a city. Like a city that no
No,
Don't look at me like that.
Like, believe you. I'm just interested.
I thought you were like, no, bitch, you're stupid.
No, I believe you.
I think like I forget the entire backstory, but like I think that the city had like gotten flooded or something. Something happened, but
Atlantis.
there was like a bunch of like bodies. I don't know.
No, yeah.
So that's what it's like. And then like people have like died there, and this girl like a week before we were there, so they have like this water park, and they have these like inflatables that you can like climb, and this girl was just like up and like dead
The week before?
we were there. Yeah, she like just died like a couple weeks ago.
Lake Lanier is like
Very
good. Like
scary. People got like someone got like I think like a flesh eating disease or something. Like I don't know if they lived,
you gotta be careful. Like if you get like a cut or something.
Well, I have a cut on my foot, and I went in the lake, and I was like, I'm gonna freaking die. I'm gonna come back with my leg having to get like chawed off.
Just chewed off.
Someone chew off my leg, please.
No, I saw a TikTok, and it was like of Lake Lanier, and it was like someone just like panning around, and then it like got in a little closer, and it was like just feet. And I showed my parents, and they're like, that's not real.
Could be, honestly.
And I'm
now.
like, no, like Lake Lanier is known to be so deadly.
It's like known. It's just like a very haunted lake. And my family wants to, like my parents, once they retire, they want to build a lake house. And my mom's like, well, we should do it at Lake Lanier. I was like, you better not. I will not come visit.
Oh my God.
But other than that, it was a really fun trip. I hadn't spent time with like all my stepsisters and everyone, I think, since like Christmas. So
yeah,
it was really fun. And then I was just home for a week, and I worked and hung out with like my mom, and now I'm back.
And now we're back. I want to talk about, because Alyssa has quite the TikTok presence, and she posts a lot of her apartment and her stuff and her furniture. And I get it. When people are curious, where'd you get that?
Yeah.
What is that? That looks cool. Like all that stuff. But like sometimes I'm like, can nobody just like look
Google,
it up?
like Google is a pretty powerful place. Like
It's like a powerhouse of like searching.
You can pretty much search up anything you want, and if you see the item on my TikTok, like a lamp, they're like, well, where's the lamp from? I'm like, just type like white floor lamp, like mushroom floor lamp. It's really not
like, I understand
hard.
when it's like something super unique, or I've
Yeah.
never seen that before, or crazy, but it's like, I mean, not for nothing, like your mirror, you can get that kind of a mirror probably anywhere.
Literally on
and they're
Amazon.
like, where'd you get it? Where did you get that
This
from?
one girl commented, where is, in all caps, everything from? I was like, that's not gonna happen.
Like, where's your bedding from? Like, you have a white duvet cover.
I'm like, just order a white, duvet
just
cover.
people cannot just think for themselves sometimes.
It's funny. I'm just like,
I commented on one of hers though, and I was like, where's the paint on your walls from? We don't have to talk about it, but Alyssa did go on a date, but I was here a little bit before, and like Alyssa was like, you know, getting ready for it and all this stuff, and I was like, imagine if you showed up and were just like, after talking to the guy for like a week, like you look super cute and girly in your personality, but you show up and you're like super butch, and you're like, what's up, man? How's it going?
What's up, man? Let's get a couple beers.
You want to get a couple rounds of beers? And he's just like throwing him a
Excuse me?
curveball. Like, what the
Honestly,
fuck?
that'd be so funny if we did that.
If you just like fucked with someone and like so girly and nice,
Like
and
I come in like
cute,
sweat's and like
and you're
my
like,
hair
oh,
in a bun.
what's
like,
up,
hey,
man? You want to go to a sport?
We gotta go watch
Let's
the
ditch this place.
game.
Let's go watch the game.
Yeah,
somewhere.
fuck this place. Like,
He would be like, this is not who I thought I was going on a date with.
it'd be so funny, actually.
Yeah,
But,
I still have not made a hinge.
I know.
I kind of want to.
I feel like you will once all your ducks are in a row.
Dude, you know? I know. This job better fucking work out.
I know, both of ours. Yeah,
Alyssa's up for a little promotion. I am keeping my fingers crossed about a job, but
you know what? We're manifesting it. We're gonna get it, and we're gonna
qualified.
get them. We're gonna get them in this. We're gonna hear back on the same day. That would be too crazy.
That would honestly be pretty cool, though.
That would be so cool. And it's like, honestly, I'm supposed to hear back, I think, like this week. I feel like you'll hear back this week. Like,
oh my God, I just got my heart just sank. I'm like so nervous about it.
Don't be nervous.
It's because I want it so bad. And like, I know I'm qualified for it. It's a company that I really want to work in. I had like really good references for it. Yeah. And I'm just like, all this stuff is like lining up. Like when I moved here, when the job became available, like the kind of position it is exactly the kind of position I've been trying to describe to like everyone. Like, what do you want to do? This is it.
It's there's no such thing as a coincidence.
There's no such thing as a coincidence. No, seriously. But like, I don't want to get like, obviously I'm fully aware that anything could happen. Anybody could be more qualified or get the job. Right. But I'm just like, this is too perfect.
And I really do think with things like this, it's just, you feel it, like, you honestly feel it in your bones.
I feel it in my fucking bones, Alyssa.
We're too aligned, like, for it to not work out.
We're energetically aligned. What does he say?
Who?
The guy on the TikTok who says there's no such thing as a coincidence.
Oh, I don't know what they say after that part.
Oh, I forget too, but he's like, we're energetically aligned and there's no such thing as a coincidence. But he's kind of right.
I just really think, like, it's just not... Yeah, like, it's just not a coincidence. Like, I believe so much in fate and things like working out and like everyone kind of having like this predestined like path for their life. So I don't really believe in a coincidence.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. I just want it so bad. I mean, regardless.
I really think you'll get it. I really do.
I don't see why I wouldn't. The interviews went really well.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But this is why I hate talking about it. Because watch me talk about this, and then the next episode I'm like, no, hey guys, I didn't get it.
That's not gonna happen.
So just forewarning, anybody watching this, if I don't get it, don't rewind to this point. Be like, bitch, told you so.
You fucking loser.
Fucking loser. But yeah, but you know what? Regardless, I'm here, and it's only gonna keep getting better. Yeah, I won't say who, but 2 more friends are moving here. We're all looking to move in together, and and then. Like, I'll still keep looking for jobs, and I'm still as qualified as I have been, and I'm still working on the podcast, which is really good for, what I want to do.
Exactly. It'll work out. I'm not worried. We went out last night.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about our night last night.
And I'm so hungover. I don't know if you are, but I'm not feeling great. I just have a really bad headache. But Amanda and I were just, I don't know, we hadn't seen each other in, like, a week.
I know.
And we were like super like, you're my best friend and I love you, and we were so emotional.
Because I was saying like, I feel like since we have been spending so much time together again, we're like reverting back to like when we were younger and like lived in the same town and like we're always together. Yeah. And so it's like when we're away, we're like, oh, this is weird.
It was so weird.
Like we were just drunk and getting emotional.
And I was telling Amanda, I was just like, everything's gonna work out. Like, I was really boosting your ego, and I meant it.
Yeah. You wouldn't lie to me.
No, there's no such thing as a coincidence.
There's no such thing as a coincidence. Dude, it's so funny. But yeah, because, when we started this little segment, we were like, yeah, our Saturday mornings, gonna go get a coffee. Yeah, if you notice, we have waters here, not coffee.
We got juice, but...
Well, since no Alyssa got back Saturday afternoon.
Yesterday,
yeah. And so we, weren't gonna do it then, and we just had plans to go hang out with some friends. Yeah. And we drank, and we got home really late. We made pasta again, which is really good.
Oh my God. So we were saying, like, we had so much fun, like, pre-gaming at my friend's apartment, and we were just, like, dancing and making TikToks. Like, it was so much fun. Then we went out, and we were like, meh.
Oh, it sucked.
And then we got home, and we were, like, making pasta, listening to Pitbull. Like, we were just having, I swear, like, the pre-game and the post... Is it post-game?
Post-game, yeah, I guess.
So much more fun than going out.
So much more fun. Because, like, I don't know. We didn't really go to find a great place. The lines were insane. The lines were...
Well, New York is back.
New York is back, baby. And nobody can tell you otherwise. And I'm like, I don't know the difference.
Everyone and their mother is moving. And I'm just like, you can tell, like, there's a lot of people back in New York. I kind of miss, like, as much as I hated COVID... I really did enjoy, like,
it just being quiet.
It was quiet, and there was never any lines. I mean, you couldn't go out, but like even with
yeah,
restaurants,
still.
like it just felt like it was just, I don't know. It was very relaxing, and I kind of miss it. Like I obviously love that like the pandemic's kind of like
for obvious reasons.
out.
We're happy that it's
exactly
on the tail
but
end
it was
of it.
very nice to be in New York and like there not being people like out the wazoo like there is right now. So but that's New York for you.
It's New York for you. But I'm thinking about like where I want to live and stuff like that. And like we've been looking at East Village, Lower East Side, but I really love like the Upper West Side. I just haven't looked at it. I don't know what the market's like there. I don't know if that's affordable for me.
No, it's affordable. I know people who live there. I definitely think you would find something. In all honesty, I personally think that like being in the Upper East Side is better than like Lower East Side. Lower East Side's like
Upper East or Upper West, or like either. I guess
either's fine. I think Upper West Side, like I went there.
I guess also too. I need to like see it more. I haven't been back in a long time. I do need.
It's nice. There's like it's clean and it's like quiet. Like
I know, and I was thinking today, like because you know last night when we were going out in the Uber and like where my cousin live is a pretty poppin' area, and I'm like this is all good and great, but like I was telling Alyssa this earlier, but in college, me and Emily lived downtown and we were always around the bars and was always loud and crazy and all this stuff. And that's great. But I really do kind of want to live in like a quiet neighborhood area.
Which is totally fair. Like
it's kind of my vibe right now. My vibe right now is just living life.
Living life. But yeah, I think you would like the Upper West Side more than like Lower East Side. I feel like it's loud there. It's kind of dirty. Like
the Lower East Side, what I like about it is the couple times I've been, it's because I'm like going to vintage stores or thrift shopping, and then there's like, you know, cool restaurants and like I don't know, it's like fun to be there.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure anywhere I end up I'll be happy, obviously, but like I don't know.
You'll find it'll work out, and once you guys like start looking at apartments and like kind of getting to know the area a little bit better, you'll know where you want to go. But it's really fun looking for apartments, and I think like living with your friends is going to be even more fun, and you guys can all go see the apartments together and like decorate and things like that. So
it's all happening.
The only thing that's so annoying, and I like hated it, this part of moving, I mean the move itself not fun, but like the paperwork,
dude.
I gave them like they could have taken my identity honestly at this point. With I gave them everything, and same with my mom, like just all of our statements, like our cards, like everything. It was like it was like 8 different forms of documentation, I swear.
It was
pretty
insane. Serious.
It's insane.
It's pretty serious business around here in these parts.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I thought of? I think it's because we were like listening to Maroon 5 or something. We in high school were obsessed with Maroon 5, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like we really liked them. And like they were, I feel like that's when they were like really poppin' too.
I feel like that's when they started heading in their more like mainstream direction.
That's the thing now.
So mainstream now, and it sucks because like
they pump out so many songs that I'm like, this doesn't, they don't even seem
I feel like they're just doing it because like they're making good money.
Because it works, and
it's
they make, so why wouldn't you?
But like, what's the album? I think it's called like Songs About Jane.
Songs About Jane, yeah.
That album was so good. There's another one I can't remember, but their like initial albums were great. Their music was like not this like generic.
Like I feel like they just pump out these songs, and I'm like, is it really even just like a band anymore? Do they like each other?
Do you guys even enjoy what you're doing?
Like when I think about bands like The Neighborhood or like I don't know 1975 or like it just feels like a band and they're together and they're doing it together. Like Maroon 5 just seems like they just pump out these pop mainstream bangers and they like call it a day. But I don't know. They've been in the game for a while and it works. So I guess, but. Also, what it made me think of is that, like, remember on Facebook, like, when we'd post our profile pictures and post, like, captions on it, and, like, you posted basically the entire chorus to a song from Maroon 5. Do you remember this?
Oh my God, yeah, it was the like caption for my profile picture. What song was it?
I forget what song it is.
And was it inappropriate?
It was inappropriate, but it's funny because at the time that was like normal and it was like, oh cool, like Maroon 5.
Was it?
But I think it was like a while back, but we were looking back at like our old, we were just going through our Facebooks and stuff, and we were reading lyrics. We're like, this is wildly inappropriate. It's just talking about like
7th grade
sex.
It's We loved them. I loved like that time where like people were just, we didn't have Instagram or any of those other platforms. So we would just post our profile picture on Facebook, and like all of our little middle school crushes would like it.
Oh my God. That was always the best.
Yeah.
Dude, I think about that a lot with, like our life and how social media has been, because we've obviously like grown up with like social media and stuff.
But like now we're in, like it's just we
into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it.
But like Instagram like came out when we were in high school.
Yeah.
And like that's, for some people they've just had it their whole lives. Like we literally just had like Facebook, like MySpace was gone. We had Facebook, and like some people did YouTube.
My mom was so worried about me getting a Facebook, and
I got in so much trouble when I got a Facebook.
Why? I guess because like people can find you, and like that is scary, but I don't even think, is that even like a worry anymore now with parents? Like it just can't be. Like,
no, and it's, well, the internet is different from how it used to be, because obviously back then having like an online presence or having a YouTube page, like businesses wouldn't like that. It was just different. You didn't want to be online. You didn't want your stuff out there. It was just had a negative connotation to it.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's almost like if you don't have social media or an online presence, they're kind of like, why not?
Why are
like,
you?
What's
it's
going
like a
on?
bad, like if you're not online, like that's your marketing sucks.
Like we always kind of pick on Kevin for this, but like Kevin doesn't have an Instagram. Like I think he has Facebook. He doesn't have anything else though.
Yeah.
And we're always just like, Kevin, like what if you meet a girl and she wants to like stalk you or whatever? Like what do you
I
you
like
know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think it'd be weird like if you met a guy now and he didn't have like, and you like really liked him and he didn't have any social media, like would you see that as like creepy?
I would kind of see it as a red flag, but only because of this. Like it's funny because with Kevin I'm like, no, that's just Kevin. Like it's not a red flag at all. You know what I mean?
If they don't know him.
But I don't know, because it's like I used to love that. I used to be like, oh yeah, if the guy's not on social media or whatever, like that's great. Like so cool. Like not about that. But then I kind of dated someone and I remember they didn't have an Instagram. And at first I was like, oh, weird. And then I was like, no, this is really cool. He ended up being psycho. Like literally.
I feel like we sang that.
Like, dude, and so now I just associate it with, like, if you don't have an Instagram, like, you're kind of he ended up getting one, though, and I remember...
Was he, like, stalking you on it?
Well, not stalking me, but I remember he got it because he was like, oh, I want to be able to, like, look at your stuff.
Pictures,
and for a while, like, I was the only person he followed, and I remember it just being kind of... I was so, like, I feel like I was a little brainwashed in this whole, like, situation, but... Like now it's like red flag after red flag, but at the time I was just like, oh, that's so nice. Like he got it just for me. Like that's a little creepy.
Yeah.
But I think at least like I have another friend, like he has Instagram and stuff, but like he just like doesn't use it. But it's like at one point you did, because like I said, we got Instagram when we were in high school. Everybody had it. So it's kind of like, well, why didn't you have it back then? Or like, well, like,
did you have it? And
like Kevin had it, but he like deleted it.
Yeah. Like I know one of my friends, he had an Instagram for a while and he was just like, it gave me so much anxiety and he just deleted it. And like, that's fair. Like at least try it.
I don't know. I guess, yeah, if I were to like meet someone objectively, like a brand new person, and they're like, oh, I don't have Instagram, I might be like, I just feel like, because I find so much comfort in being able to see like, you know, what someone is like online. Like, I feel like how you present yourself online is everything these days. So if you don't even have that, I'm a little like... Last night, we thought it was so funny. So Alyssa kept playing like Pitbull, and you know, in the song... How does the song go?
It's, I think Give Me Everything.
Give me everything. Yeah. But in the beginning, he's like doing his whole monologue and he's like, Pippa, Nile, Neo. But like, so we figured out today that there's another person in the song.
His name's
Nair. But
so Nair,
I
Neo.
always thought that he was just like saying Neo in a different way. And so
we were like, did he forget his name?
He's like, Pippa, Nile. I mean, Neo. I mean, like,
me, Pitbull.
Pitbull. I mean, Nio. I mean, Neo.
But dude, we were going on a rant. We were like, did he forget who he was featuring in the song? Like, I'm so confused.
I don't know why.
It was so funny.
Did you want to talk about like any of like the OCD stuff a little bit and kind of like doing that?
Yeah. I'll get into
we can talk a little bit about it.
Sure, because now we know, like, you and I have been in each other's lives for so long. You know me like through and through, and you know I'm very OCD.
If I drop one crumb on this fucking floor, I'm like, oh.
I will whip the vacuum out in 2 seconds and start vacuuming.
But you've always been like that. And like, I've always known, because like your dad was like this. He was always just very clean and neat and all this stuff. So I was like, oh, she's just like a really clean, neat person. But there's been instances where I'm like, this is literally taking over your life.
I know.
Like, so the first incident of it was, what was it, like 5th grade, and you had a birthday party and it was like a sleepover, a bunch of girls from the class, and there were like balloons everywhere. We were doing our nails and like sleeping bags.
Literally was so stressed. I hated that birthday. Like, everyone was in my room.
You were like crying.
I was like crying. I feel like I got sick. I don't even know.
Yeah,
like,
no, you did. You said like the next day you like got really sick because you just got so wound up.
That you were honey, I was like in 5th grade. I'm like, you guys don't get nail polish on my vanity. Like, I was just so stressed. But so, yeah, like you said, my dad was always so OCD about everything. Like, I remember if I would like wash my hands and go to grab the paper towel, and if I got like drops of water on the floor, he'd be like,
really?
You got water on the floor. And then like,
oh my God.
He was so strict about how much paper towel I could use.
Oh no. Like, you know, like ration it out.
He would give me 1 sheet and he's like, you don't need 2 sheets.
How was he like when the pandemic happened with like the toilet paper thing? Do you think he was like the same way? Like, don't use too much.
I don't know. Honestly, I mean, I haven't lived with him like in the same house now since I guess high school. So I don't know.
But I guess like living alone, you've had like a little bit more control with it, right?
Yeah. And honestly, it's weird because, you know, I lived with a roommate before living here by myself, and I really wasn't that OCD. Like, I think more so because the main living space, mind you, her and I didn't really get along. So, you know, I wasn't going to argue with her about her leaving stuff in the sink or like not cleaning. Like, I just did it because I was like, well, I'm not going to argue with her. We already like don't like each other. So
yeah,
that's that. But yeah. And then ever since I've moved to this apartment, I think because it's like mine, I'm just extremely like OCD, and I get so stressed about it being clean and like things being picked up and like there being crumbs or like dust, like everything. Like, I like clean like on a daily basis,
which is normal because like you like being clean. But so because I feel like, I mean, obviously, like, we were both in college. I've never lived with you, and I didn't really, like, see that much of, like, you living. But when the last time I, like, visited here, and I, like, warmed up my ice cream and, like, melted it a little too much.
Yeah.
And I, like, spilled chocolate ice cream, like, all over her white bedding. And I was like, oh, my fucking God. I was like, she's going to murder me. She's going to I was like, Alyssa, I'm so sorry.
You were
like,
so scared of me, and I felt
she
so
literally,
bad.
She walks in and she goes, it's no big deal. I'll just wash it. And I was like, who the fuck
are you?
Like, took over your body? Like, what do you mean that you're not upset about that? But it was so fine. And then, it was like the first week I was here or whatever, your mom and your sister were here, and there was a couple more friends, and like we had drinks and a cheese board, and like, you know, we're all just enjoying it. And then in the middle of it, Alyssa's taking everyone's drinks, cleaning up and putting them, we're like, Alyssa, like, chill.
Like, sit down and enjoy your time.
But do you think it like is ever something that you feel like out of control with? Or you always like have control over it?
No, I do feel like sometimes I don't have control over it because it like I get so stressed, and like, so I'll like I'll cry if I'm like, if it's like I can't, I don't know, like when my mom and my sister, James like when my mom and my sister were here, we all stayed in this apartment, which I don't think we'll ever do that again because that was just
too small space for 3 people.
Yeah, for 3 people, yeah, it's like fine for me and just us 2, I guess, but like, yeah, 3 people was a lot. And it was like the night that I had like the little dinner, or not dinner party, but it was just like we had like drinks and appetizers, whatever. And I get home and like my mom and sister like ordered pizza, and they're like eating pizza and like spilling crumbs, and I was like,
the crumbs is like the biggest thing with you.
The crumbs, I don't even know why, but they're like spilling all over my floor, and I just start crying, and my mom's like, Alyssa, you need to she literally gave me a Xanax. She's like, you need to chill and go to sleep because you can't act like this. But so yeah, it does feel like sometimes it it like it takes over.
It's overwhelming.
It's a little overwhelming, and I try to deal with it and like just tell myself like, okay, you can. I sound psychotic.
Well, no, because I guess I'm wondering like, is it just like, I didn't mean to interrupt you just now, but do you think it's like legit OCD, or you're just really particular about being clean?
I think it's a combination of both, because like even if people were to like move my books around and like,
does that bother you?
Yeah, if they're not exactly like where I want them, like it bothers me.
Okay.
Things like that shit bothers me a lot. And then the cleaning, like I don't know, I just can't deal with like crumbs on the floor freak me out, because I just don't like get it like stepping on them. Like I don't know what I feel that. But
I think I asked you a little while ago. I was like what is the, I guess, fear from? And I was like, is it just bugs, or is it like, do you think, because I feel like sometimes with OCD people like they think about it in a way of like it snowballs, like, well, if you don't pick it up, a bug's gonna come in, it's gonna bite me, I'm gonna get sick, I'm gonna die, you know what I mean? Like it kind of snowballs, or is it literally just because like you don't want bugs and you don't like crumbs?
No, it's not because I feel like I'm gonna die. But
well, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, I know,
something more serious.
Because it's, you know, it comes from like a deeper rooted fear, I think, usually. But not in my case. I think I like my space clean.
Yeah.
I just feel really, it's so weird. Like I'm so satisfied when my apartment feels clean. I'm sure everyone can relate to that, you know?
Plus like,
and like, I almost feel like sometimes like, I'm a very controlling person, and I feel like sometimes when I don't feel like I have control over like the cleanliness of my apartment, I think that might be what bothers me.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
It's more of a control thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
So it's very weird, and I wish I was less. I'm extremely controlling. Like I need to.
It's
like
funny
work
because
on
I
that.
don't ever think of it like
Really?
that. Yeah, I don't know, because I also don't see it as like I'm OCD, and maybe it's just because I'm like used to it. I guess I just think like, oh, she just is very clean and likes things clean.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I honestly.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm glad you don't see me as controlling, because I don't like to be controlling. But I even feel like sometimes, like in my past relationships, I'm controlling, and I've like apologized, and like I
Do you
noticed.
think so?
Yeah.
Like how so?
Partially with the OCD stuff, because it's like a lot for someone to deal with. Like, you know,
I guess
my ex and I like kind of were living together, and like I felt bad at times because I was always just like, oh, don't step on my rug with your shoes on.
Oh,
He was just always really scared to do anything, and I would always have to take a second, and like I'd be like, I'm sorry, I know I'm being like really difficult, and like I would notice like when I was like,
well, at least
to
you
an
notice
extreme.
it.
But also I was like, you're staying at my place, like you need to.
I think that, and like obviously I don't want to get into like a whole thing about him and
No,
whatever,
me
but
neither.
it's just like, you know, it was your apartment and he was there a lot. He wasn't living there. It wasn't his apartment. It's understandable for you to get frustrated with things like that.
Right.
Like, that's only normal.
Yeah. So I felt like to that degree I was a little controlling, but I guess that's a fair point. So
yeah,
I don't know, but he always handled it really well, and I was grateful for that. He like really tried to do as I wanted, because
do as I pleased,
because I would get really mad.
I think with the whole just like OCD cleanliness, I don't know. I just see it as like your dad was obviously like that, so I feel like it's just
really ingrained
in
like,
you, and like it's your apartment, it's beautiful, you've worked hard for it, you want it how you want it, and yeah, but I think it's probably best that you do live alone.
Absolutely. I'm nervous for when I actually do live with another person.
Yeah, we were
if
talking.
I ever have kids, like my mom was like, Alyssa, you've got to loosen up by the time you have kids, because
kids are messy.
Their kids are messy. It's like that's just
and it's
how
like
it goes.
There's gonna be dishes left in the sink that are undone.
There's gonna be
spills,
spills.
Shit like that.
Things are gonna get dirty. Like
I think it's different because you're gonna love your kids,
right?
So it's like if your little baby spills something, you're not like, oh my god. You're like, oh. You're a baby, and you didn't mean that. You know what I mean?
We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Like I wonder if I'll ease up, or if it'll stay the same and I just have to like manage it better. I don't know. I have no idea how I'm gonna be. But
well, when we were on our walk earlier, Alyssa said she was like, I hope in the next like, did you say about like by the next move that you want to be like?
So I'd like to stay in my current apartment at least for another 2 to 3 years. And this is, I don't know if this will happen, but I'll be around like 27 at that age. Not that I'm putting a timeline on anything, because I feel like that adds a lot of stress to people, but I would like it by my next move to be like potentially
in a relationship,
and
moving
in with someone, because
it's crazy to think.
I know, and it is, and it kind of scares me, but like realistically, at
But
that age, it's pretty normal. Like, people we know are getting married and engaged right now. And I'm like, should I live with someone else?
Should I live with someone? No, you made a great point, because like I keep thinking we're younger than we are.
I know. I still feel like I'm like 20.
Yeah, you're 21. Like, by that time I'll be like 27. And I was like, holy shit, you're right. Like, that is so normal to do. But yeah, and I also think, because for me, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in my life, but I'm always like, no, I don't really. I mean, yeah, like, I think I'll want to, if I'm dating someone for a while, I think I'll want to live with them. But, like, in my mind, I'm like, no, like, I want, as long as I can, to have my own space in my own life. I don't ever want to live with someone. Yeah. But I feel like with you will have to live with someone, because you'll have to be able to set those boundaries. And
for sure.
And I like, live with you.
I can't imagine. So my mom, she got married really, really young. Her first marriage, she got married at 21, and
that's so young, dude.
So young.
Holy shit.
She mainly did it because my grandparents, who are from Cuba, they're very, very strict. And also that time, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was just really strict. So, but I think it's like part of like either Catholic or Cuban or something, that they're just like really strict with like, you need to be married when you live, like if you're going to live with someone.
Yeah. Especially kind of like if they're strict Catholic. Yeah.
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 So, you know, she had no option, and she was like, she told me, she was like, I felt so suffocated by my parents that like I got married really young, and it ended up being such a mistake.
Yeah.
And like that sucks, but she didn't live with him first, and so like she's always told me, she's like, you need to live with the guy you're dating before you get engaged, married, because you need to know if you can like live in a space together and if you guys like work well together, and I think it's super important. So
I think it also opens up new things, like there's little to hide when you live with someone. Yeah. You know, because like, I don't know. I mean, things could always happen. We know that anything could happen.
What is that song?
The Ellie Goulding song, which is like, anything can happen. Anything. I'll play it for you.
Okay.
Let me just pull it up. Why don't I just play it right now? No, it's going to take a while.
Was there anything else we wanted to cover?
I don't know. I think that was it. I really did want to talk about that, because to me, like, I feel like that's so normal, but I feel like it's also something you never talk about, and not that you need to talk about it or you need like therapy for it, but I feel like it's something to, when you kind of realize it,
like I'd be curious, and I don't know why I've never really like thought about it as much, but like more recently, I think, especially like after my family left from visiting, I was like, damn, girl, you need to calm down.
You need to calm down. Well, I keep telling you, I'm like, you should introduce yourself to like CBD.
Yeah, do something.
Or something.
All right, give it a play. Oh, yes, I know the song. The second that started.
I want to get to the part. Dude, I love Ellie Goulding.
I like some of the
Ellie Goulding songs. Remember, we had a friend in high school, Tim Dixon.
He loved
Ellie Goulding. But Ellie Goulding, all of her songs slap. Hannah loves Ellie Goulding, too.
Great gal.
Well, I guess that's it for this week. We've been going for like 35 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And it's getting late, and I want to go home.
I'm so tired. I can't wait to shower, and I'm literally just going to get right in bed.
So next week, you're going to be gone again. So right now, the episodes are bi-weekly.
Cool. Bi-weekly bitches.
Bi-weekly bitches.
Whenever we're feeling it, we'll just do.
Whenever we're feeling like talking,
we shall.
We'll be two women that know how to talk.
Two women that know how to talk.
Peace out, everyone. See you next time.